How to survive in New York City without losing your mind, wallet, or soul. New York City, a place where dreams are made and your patience and sanity are put to the ultimate test. Jamal had heard the stories. His friends said it would be life-changing, the city that never sleeps, where anything is possible, and everyone was always rushing somewhere. But no one mentioned that it would be the ultimate test of endurance, personal space, and the will to not scream at strangers. The subway, battle royale. Jamal had no idea that his first encounter with the subway would be so intimate. He'd heard all about the subway system, but nothing could have prepared him for the reality. 7 million people packed into tight metal tubes every day like sardines in a can. He'd heard rumors of the mysterious empty subway car. If you see one, don't get on. That's the one you stay away from, a friend warned him. It's either filled with ghosts, smells like something died, or it's the personal dance floor of Tony the Yodeler and his emotional support iguana. Naturally, Jamal ignored this advice when he saw the empty car. 5 minutes in, he learned that never listen to a subway legend. That car smelled like ancient wet socks and regret. He quickly transferred to a more crowded car, where personal space was non-existent, and the only way to survive was to stand with your arms folded, eyes straight ahead, pretending you were too busy to notice the uncomfortable closeness of the person next to you. The apartment, tiny, expensive, and full of potential. When Jamal finally managed to find a place to live, he couldn't believe his luck. His apartment was small, sure, but this was New York. Living the dream, he thought. It was $30 a month for what could generously be called a shoebox. The kitchen was a myth. The bathroom barely fit his body, and his bed? Oh, that was in the corner next to his vintage radiator, which, by the way, hisses like an angry cat at 3 a.m. every night. Not ideal, Jamal muttered to himself as he shoved his shoes into the tiny closet that was, by the way, the size of a phone booth. But hey, this was New York, where a closet is considered a charming feature. Food, a quest for taste, on a budget. Jamal quickly learned that eating out was a survival skill in the city. Luckily, New York had an army of food carts scattered like treasure chests on every corner. The 3 hot dog became his best friend. Sure, he questioned what kind of meat it was, but it tasted like victory wrapped in a bun, topped with mustard, and the promise of a better tomorrow. One day, as he was walking through the streets, he passed a bodega of the Sacred Institutions of NYC. He made eye contact with the cat sitting behind the counter. The cat stared at him, unblinking, and for the first time, Jamal felt like he truly belonged. I'm a local now, he thought to himself. He ordered a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich from the man behind the counter. The best breakfast in the city, he assured Jamal. And in that moment, Jamal felt connected to something bigger than himself. It was the bodega. It was the cat. It was life in New York. People. A New York kind of chaos. Navigating the streets of New York was like entering a gladiator arena. You had to move with purpose, or else the crowd would swallow you whole. Do not stop in the middle of the sidewalk, Jamal was warned. If you do, you'll get yelled at by a stranger who's probably had a very bad day. He learned quickly. Moving fast became second nature. Avoiding eye contact? Check. If you're walking through Times Square and you stop to look at the neon signs or snap a selfie, prepare for the full force of New York's walkers-only laws. No one stops here. You walk, or you get run over figuratively, and sometimes literally. And then there was Elmo, the people dressed as characters, hoping to make a quick buck by posing with tourists. Jamal made the mistake of asking one of them for a picture. The cost? $20. And it didn't even look like Elmo. This Elmo had a plastic smile, and eyes that seemed to be silently judging him. Peace. Finding it among the chaos. Despite the hustle and bustle, New York had its serene moments. Central Park was a haven. Here, you could pretend you were a part of some epic period drama, walking under the shade of the trees, headphones in, ignoring the fact that a guy on rollerblades just shouted YOLO as he did a backflip. But even here, there were challenges. The squirrels were not only aggressive, but bold. One had the audacity to jump onto Jamal's lap while he was trying to meditate. You have no peace in New York, Jamal realized. But at least you have squirrels to keep you on your toes. Attitude. The New York way. The most important lesson Jamal learned was that you couldn't survive New York without the right attitude. You had to have the speed of a man trying to catch the last subway home, the patience of a saint who's been waiting in line for the 6th train for 30 minutes, and the ability to scream, "What are you doing?" at a taxi who cuts you off. The city was wild, unpredictable, and unapologetic. But if you embraced it, you'd find a rhythm, a flow, a way to survive. In the end, Jamal realized that New York was like that crazy ex you just couldn't quit. Loud, chaotic, always keeping you on your toes. But deep down, you loved it. And no matter how much it drained you, you always came back for more. At least, that's what he told himself every time he stepped out of his tiny apartment, grabbed a hot dog, and went to fight another day in the concrete jungle. Moral of the story? Keep your MetroCard loaded, your shoes comfy, and never, ever fall into a sidewalk cellar door. Oh, and if you see a raccoon, just nod and keep walking.